All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. Oh, my God, she's so pretty, I died. I got to call Breaka 19er. She's a flatliner. She's a flatliner. I hate everything about this. This is the stupidest. This is almost as stupid as Jesus Christian rock. Now this is Dirk's turn.
Dang girl, I'm done. I ain't never seen no one popping it like a cold one and drop it down like
Dang girl, I'm done. And then something about popping it like a cold one.
Oh my, see the light. I don't mean the neon kind. One kiss from you tonight and send me on to the other side. Sipping on this 7-7, never been this close to heaven. Got a 30 turned up to 11, dropping on dead on the dance floor. Somebody better call a doctor.
So this went on the air, and then we did a whole bit of Ben and I talking to each other. Hey, Dirk, man. Hey, Dirk. It's Cole. And then Ben was Dirk's talking to me. He's like, hey, Cole, it's me, Dirk, man. I seen a girl, and she's so pretty, I died. Oh, my God, man. It was just stupid. Me attempting to reenact it won't work. Let's see. Chris writes, tell him about it, Dirks. Chris says, I can't remember, LOL. I just remember you guys revealing when you were fighting, you'd still send voice memos of that song. Oh, yeah. Like Ben would be talking about me on social media. Oh, God. I was abused at work. It was abuse. Hey, mate. Hey, Cole, it's Dirks. He'd then leave me messages. Hey, man, this girl, she's so pretty, I'm dead. Yeah. So it's like Dirks' voice is kind of like Kenny. Let's see. Literally the worst song ever made, I think. Aram says the same handful of melodies get recycled in country. Yeah, you know, that's why stupid people like Kuipers like it. You know, it's just the same. Hey, man, I'm going to write a song about getting a piece of ass. And just the same fucking vibe. And then everybody goes, oh, it's so great. I just love this country music. Oh, my God. These guys are hot. I fucking love them. Yeah, I know. It sounds like Hurricane Ashley. Well, she seems like the type that would like that. Dale Delivers says, make it stop. Kenny says, this is why I hate Broadway in Nashville. It's crawling with this stuff and these people. Keizu Jeremy says, this song is worse than Fancy Like Applebee's. Oh, yeah, I know that song. Linda says the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders do a routine to this because they're all flatliners. Uh-huh. Aram says Love Grenade is a much better song. It's not a bad idea to bust out Love Grenade. It's been way too long. I wonder if Ted made a video for it. That's a bad song, too. Love Grenade. I'm coming in. Love Grenade. Pull the pin. Love Grenade. Look out below. Something, something. I'm about to blow. Yeah, there isn't a video for it. I mean, there's the song. But, well, he performs it live. So I wonder if I should, I mean, Ted is just ridiculous.
I know a lot of people, you don't get out to kill your ample share. I know you don't do your part, but I got you covered. I killed enough shit for everybody.
By the way, for the record, I like Ted.
Any questions?
I don't line up with him politically.
Can you feel the love?
But I like Ted Nugent.
In fact, you know it's amazing, but there's another amazing guitar lick. This is a song called Love Grenade. That's how my love comes. Pull that fucking pin and bend over, baby. Tell me the guitar lick. Uncle Ted, Love Grenade. Fucking perfect.
Can't do it. You can't hear it. It's bad audio. We can't do this. We're not going to do this. Anyway, Ted Nugent, Love Grenade. Enjoy it on your own. Tophus says Ted is way too far right. He's on the level of Kid Rock. I like Kid Rock too. You see, I am so unbelievably complex that I refuse to let someone's political views take away my rock alarm clock. Kid Rock's a fucking moron. Ted's a dipshit. I love their music. I will still play it loud. Okay? I don't just throw something away that I'd like because I don't line up with them politically. God damn. Kenny says, worst songs ever made. Okay, let me say this. When it comes to Flatliner, Love Grenade, I would still listen to those songs. They're horrible songs, but I would still listen to those. Worst songs ever made, Flatliner, agreed. Love Grenade, agreed. Christine. I don't know Christine. Do you mean Christine 16 by Kiss? And then he says 17, and that one that Branjo 45 mentioned probably. Let's put the S in Sex by Kiss. Oh, my God. Yes, those are awesome songs. I mean, when I say that, I mean like awesomely horrible. Let me tell you this. Kip Winger, I think he plays bass, by the way. He's actually a virtuoso. I bet you didn't know that. The song 17 by Winger. If that's on, not only am I going to listen to it, but the windows are down and that's loud. Okay? Kip Winger, by the way, this guy had a tough life. His wife died tragically. I don't know what the fuck happened or something like that, but there was some bad accident that happened. He lost his wife. Rebecca says Kip Winger was hot, without a doubt. The dude had, I mean, his face was chiseled. It might still be. I don't know. He's an older dude now. But that was a dude that, of all the hair bands, he actually could play. And chicks loved this guy. So he met the woman of his dreams, his wife, and then she passed away. And I bet you women all over the world were like, woo, thank God. We love Kip Winger. We want to be the next Mrs. Winger. Yeah, I don't agree that a Winger was garbage. This is a preview for a Aaron Hernandez documentary. That might be pretty good. I don't know. All right, this is okay. Yeah, Kip's a baby. Okay, see, now look at that. You see that chiseled face and those eyes and that hair? Chicks are like, oh my God. They loved Kip Winger. See, now what that is that's a feminine face. That is a girly face that has masculine qualities to it. Women love that. That is a handsome man. The only reason why he's handsome is because he's got female features. I'm telling you, this is true. Soft eyes. He was a total fake. Look at him. He's doing his little dance with his tight pants with his dick sticking out of it. Holy shit. I think I love him.
And just when I thought she was coming to my door, she whispered sweet and brought me to the door. She said, I'm only 17. I'll show you love like you've never seen. She's only 17. Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough.
See, it was okay to say that line. Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me. Like, can you imagine if now you came out with a song and the lyrics were, Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me. I mean, that was cool back then. You know? It was all right. Hell, Chuck Berry on Sweet Little 16 or some shit like that. There's this, no, it was Let It Rock. And Chuck Berry's Let It Rock. There she is over there by the record machine, looking like a model on the cover of a magazine. Too damn cute to be a minute over 13. So you see what we're doing here? He's getting younger. Minute over 13. And back then, we're like, yeah, that's no problem. No, that's cool. Donut Dan says, I heard that Diddy has signed a contract to remake that song. You think I'm lying? Chuck Berry, Let It Rock. Live. I wonder if he would say that live.
Pella Windows. Tested for extremes. Designed for your home.
Okay, Limu, you said it. Then as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so they only pay for what they need.
All Chuck songs sound the same. They all sound like Johnny B. Good. Doesn't Chuck Wall. At some point, that little dip, he does that dip all the time.
In Mobile, Alabama, working on the railroad with a steel driving hammer. I got to get some money back and done. Over in the evening when the sun is sinking low.
Come on now. Where's the park?
Everybody scrambling and jumping out along. He can't stop the train.
Okay, Duck Walk. Sorry.
Panic 'cause they're going insane.
You know what? I think I got the wrong song. Anyway, Chuck said that. Amazing Blue says, and down the YouTube rabbit hole the show goes, LOL. Cole says, going to get lots of Twitch tickets. Stray Cats, Sexy and 17. All right, that's enough of this. You can tell it's Friday. I'm easily distracted. Idiot. Okay. I want to talk about baseball. Shohei Ohtani. The Dodgers got him this year, and they paid him a ton of money, and he deferred the money or some shit like that. And then his interpreter gambled a bunch of it away, and everybody thinks he gambled, but maybe not. But then he went and started playing baseball, and everybody forgot about that shit. First player ever to have 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. It was a big deal when he had 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases because he got to that point in grand fashion with a walk-off home run to get to 40. So, and going into yesterday's game, I think he already had the 50 stolen bases, but he had 48 home runs at the start of the game. And then when the game ended, he had 51 home runs. it is being described as the greatest night in the history of baseball because in the game, he went 6 for 6. He got on base every time. He had 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. He scored 2 runs, and he also stole 2 bases. Okay? Incredible. Bear in mind, he is also a lights-out ace pitcher. Who the fuck keeps emailing me? Who he didn't pitch this year because he's recovering from some type of injury. But my God, this guy can just rake. Here's these home runs are outrageously awesome to see and hear. This is from the game last night.
2, Ohtani sends one in the air, the other way, back it goes, gone! One-of-a-kind player, one-of-a-kind season, Shohei Ohtani.
This is the 50th one.
Starts the 50-50 club.
So he had already hit one earlier in the game. By the way, he's playing in Miami. The fans love him. That is so cool. How about that? You gotta love that.
1-2, Ohtani.
Then there was another moment. Let's see.
Watching this guy. Oh my gosh!
Next up,
Shohei Ohtani, the greatest day in baseball history.
Look at this guy rounding third. He's cracking up. He's like, oh my God, this is awesome. That is so great. Boy, he really got a hold of that fucker.
This is not real life.
David at the dentist.
Watching this guy.
Oh, look at that swing, too. Now, if you notice, when the pitcher throws it here, and then Ohtani hits it, the second he hits it, this guy doesn't even bother looking back. He knows.
Watching this guy.
He knows.
Oh, my gosh! Shohei!
He just looks down. He's like, oh, God.
Watching this guy. Oh, my gosh!
Now, this was at a point in the game when they just put up any ham and egger to try to get it over the plate and maybe hit it into play. He was throwing those slow pitches.
Watching this guy. Oh, my gosh! Shohei Ohtani, the greatest day in baseball.
That's awesome. So that's very, very cool. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about was, again, I haven't followed shit about the Detroit Tigers in forever. All right? Because they've stunk. Last year, so, no big deal. I don't even know any players. I've figured out I know 3 players. One guy named Parker, who Matt Kuipers told me it's Parker Meadows. Some guy named Scooble, who's a pitcher. And another guy named Riley Green. I don't know anybody else on that team. The manager is A.J. Hinch. But out of the blue, they caught fire. And they are now kicking everybody's ass. And to start the week, they were a few games back. But they have now, actually, they're tied for a playoff spot. The teams ahead of them have all turned to shit. So the Orioles suck dick. They used to be great. Kansas City sucks dick. Tigers just swept them. And the other team, the Twins, they're a pile of shit too. And the Twins lost yesterday again. So that means the Tigers suddenly are tied for a wild card playoff spot. This is outrageous. And this on the heels of when they, because you know how like near the end of the year, there's a thing called a trade deadline. And when your team's shit, you trade all your good players away. And then you get draft picks. You save money, whatever the fuck. I don't know. So the Tigers did that. They had like all their halfway decent players, and they said, hey, everybody, take our good players. And they traded them away, and then they bring up a bunch of young guys, okay? Like teenagers in early 20s who they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they go, oh, yeah, go ahead, go play in the majors. Well, these guys kick ass. So now the Tigers have a bunch of young guys. Their payroll is like $50, and they're kicking the shit out of everybody. The one guy they didn't trade was this Scooble guy, this pitcher, who's really good. And so now they got him. He's an all-star. And then all these other assholes. And they're a bunch of idiots, and they're beating the shit out of everybody. So I'm all about this story. Hey, tell you what, I am not afraid to be a goddamn bandwagon jumper. So I am all about the Tigers. They play against Baltimore today, who's ahead of them. But like I said, Baltimore is a huge pile of shit. But the Tigers now are kicking ass. So I don't know if there's anybody listening or watching this who even gives a shit about it, but I'm excited about it. So if I'm excited about it, I'm trying to make you excited about it. That's my job. Chris says, man, Huge needs to have you on with this expert analysis. That's true. Donut Dan says, how about the Chicago White Sox? They have 36 wins and 117 losses. They might set a record. I think the record for losses in a year is 120. I think they'll beat that. Chris says, man, Huge needs to have you on with, yeah, Billy. So the Orioles are a bag of shit. Jeremy says, I wish YouTube TV carried Bally Sports so I could watch the Tigers. Yeah, I got to sign up. Because the NFK has been itching. He's like, Eric, do you think you can maybe get the... I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And I don't do it. So I think he's getting pissed. All right. Huge is too busy planning his disco party. You're goddamn right. The disco swing dance party at Rumors Nightclub. By the way, iHeart just had another mass firing a month ago where they're slowly but surely whittling the workforce down. And Grand Rapids got no firings this time. Now, I've been fired from them before in one of these. They call it like a reduction in force, which means everybody gets fired because they can't pay anybody. So let me just explain this. If I manage to get fired in one of these purgings, think about this. They pay me $12 an hour to be afternoon drive on a top 10 radio station in market number 60 in America. Think about that. Now, of course, as you know, EZ is very diversified, so I don't need the job. I don't give a shit if I do it or I don't. But I'm still there for now. I'm just hoping and praying that this continues because I want to stay on the air. I like being on the air. But just interesting. I mean, like every year or twice a year, there's a reduction in force. And I'm like, oh, my God, the industry is just dying on the vine. All right. Before I get to anything else here, and I do have plenty more to talk about, Rick at TC Paintball deserves a phone call. Let's see. I got an text from Doug. Hey, Eric, I hurt my back again. I'm going to try to open today. Are you available to be on call if I can't do it? It would be just you and Dougie. I would love to help, period. However, I'm going to a wedding on the east side of the state, period. I hope you feel better, period. Okay. Yeah, I got to get Rick in here. We haven't talked to him in a while. And I think he's wanted to talk. I think he had something great happen at the at a paintball tournament of his. I know he's very proud. See if we can't get him in here. Watch your ears. Watch your ears.
Hello, Eric Zane.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear your voice. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I saw some great pictures of you and the family at a paintball tournament. Can you share some details?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It was our annual Chicago event. That event always happens in September. I actually played this event. My kid played in 2 different divisions in this event. And in total, I think we brought 5 teams down there with us. My kids' team took second overall in the youth division, and then they also played in one of the adult divisions, D5, and they took fourth in the D5 division.
So the young people were shooting the adults?
Yeah, so their team, there's a ranking system that goes for each player, and then there's a combined ranking for the team. So they're just starting out. Basically, they're like in their second year of real tournament play, and they're in the D5. So it starts out low, D5 being one of the earlier divisions. Then you work your way up all the way to pro if you last that long. And they competed for the second time in the D5 division. Now that's the same division that they won at the Atlantic City event, which was in June. So they took first in the Atlantic City event in that division, and then they took fourth at the Chicago event. Next up is the Paintball World Cup, which is in November in Florida.
You ever wonder if it would be it probably would never fly, but you know how like when a kid goes to school, you got football team, basketball team. Can you imagine the outrage if there was paintball team?
So I've had a little bit of experience with that. Back in the early 2000s, early in having a business in this industry, we had kind of a grassroots initiative where we got a bunch of high school teams unofficially to participate. So we had a team from like the Delton area. We had a team from Allendale. We had a team from, well, I'm not going to remember them all. I think Hudsonville. There was about 5 different teams, and we had a little high school tournament. And that went great, and a lot of those kids continued to play ball for a long, long time. But, yeah, like you said, it's kind of a weird thing when you're talking about paintball, guns, and we prefer to call them markers, and we're shooting at each other. It's kind of a weird dynamic. Now,
right.
Now I'm in the Granville school system, and Granville has what they call a Rec Pro brochure that they do for a lot of school activities and then community activities. And I've been working with them to get paintball into their brochure, and they're very receptive to that.
Oh, good, good. Because that's like. Oops, sorry. I was just gonna. Oh, we totally keep interrupting each other. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that was awkward.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You're a great interviewer.
Please continue your thought.
No, I was just about done. So we were supposed to debut in the late summer, early fall one, and they missed it somehow. They insist that they do want us in there. So we're supposed to be in the winter brochure for my kids' league.
That's actually unbelievable because nowadays they would make the leap in logic that if a child does this, thus they will bring a gun to school or something like that.
And just this week in the Granville community, there was like this threat that got shared, and it went from kid to kid, school to school. And Granville actually shut down yesterday because they're worried about the threat being real.
Yeah, I saw that, and that has been going around, and it wasn't credible. Today, there's another school district that has that exact same thing. Comstock Public Schools were closed today due to threats.
Yeah. I hope they persecute these kids that are, because kids think it's funny to say something like that, and they don't realize the ramifications. It puts everything back. I'm coaching football at Granville for my kid in 7th grade. We had to cancel practice. Every other home event yesterday had to get canceled. So it put back not only, sports and stuff, but a lot of scholastic and academic things that had to get canceled because of, they had to use an abundance of caution,
Rick, I need to ask you, the Lions, how pissed off were you on Sunday's game?
So I was in Chicago for my tournament. So we were busy all day long outside, and I wasn't able to watch. I was only able to check my phone for score updates and whatnot. It was disappointing, but we had this conversation a year ago about how long the season is. So they're 1-1, and I'm not going to get excited one way or the other. I'm not going to go to Dan Campbell's house. I'm not going to do anything weird or stupid. I'm just going to trust in the fact that the play calling is going to get better than what it was in the third quarter of their first game, because that was terrible. I'm going to trust in the fact that they're still feeling out the offense for this year's version of it, and we're going to right the ship.
I like that. All right. Yeah, anything else that we need to discuss? Thank you for picking up the phone. It's been way too long since we've talked, you know.
It's been too long. I apologize for that. Your time, it just, when we were doing this like at 9 a.m., it was perfect because I have an empty facility and there's no one around bugging me. Now that you come on a little bit later, it seems like every day I got something going on at the time that you want to get together. So it's not for effort on your part. It's just that I've had a hard time fitting it in. So I appreciate you being able to reach out to me and me being available this time.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. All right. It's better than
no, totally cool. Totally cool. All right. Well, give my best to everybody. Congrats on the success in Chicago. And I'll talk very soon. And we got to schedule a paintball outing.
Yes. We'll get it out there.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab the clip. Jeremy has already pulled the clip of you and I, of me ruining the interview with you. I'm going to go and play that right now. If you want to get over to the stream and check it out. It was very funny.
Oh, you said clip with a T.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
My mind somewhere else. I apologize.
All right. Thank you. See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye. Jeremy, great job with that. As always. So bad. We both kept starting and stopping and let's see. Eric Zane. Video producer. Clips. Feature selected. Feature. And let's watch this disaster.
All into their brochure, and they're very receptive to that.
Oh, good, good. Because that's like. Oops, sorry. I was just going to. Oh, we totally keep interrupting each other. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that was awkward.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You're a great interviewer.
One more. That was great.
All into their brochure, and they're very receptive to that.
Oh, good, good. Because that's like. Oops, sorry. I was just going to. Oh, we totally keep interrupting each other. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that was awkward.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You're a great interviewer.
That's pretty bad. God, I suck. Krista's so awkward, devastating. Pretty much. TC Paintball, thank you to Rick. Book an event today. There is Monster Trucks tomorrow at Berlin Raceway. Tickets are cheap. BerlinRaceway.com. The kids would love to go. Frank Fuss. Not a fan of Taylor Swift. Open enrollment coming. You need to sign up to get a health insurance policy. Don't go this route alone. Have Frank Fuss help you at buyinsurancehere.com. Buyinsurancehere.com and get started today. Good team over there that will help you. Frank wants to make sure that you get into a healthcare policy and, make sure you do it right, because if you go to healthcare.gov on your own and try to do this, yes, you'll probably be okay, but why? Just be assured that Frank is taking care of it for you, saves you time. And the best part is Frank doesn't cost any money. His services are 100% free. He gets paid by insurance companies. We have, of course, our heating and cooling sponsor, Joe Martinez, who is in the beautiful country of Mexico as we speak. He is not with us, which means the chat is not polluted with pointless Michigan chatter that no one gives a shit about. With a little luck, USC will win this weekend, and he won't be so vocal. Go to A&E Heating and Cooling for all of your heating and cooling needs. 616-516-8579 for a free furnace tune-up / diagnostic check. Paid for by DTE Energy. He'll give you all the details on that, but it's free. If you haven't taken advantage of this in the last 2 years, you must. It's free. It's a great deal. 100% foolproof. Okay. While I'm at it, I want to say hello to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. The multi-talented Megan was in the chat earlier. She might be busy right now doing her thing. You can reach out to them. You can give them a call at 616-532-6600 or find them online at ervines.com, ervines.com, for your cars, your EVs, your hybrids, your trucks, everything. They take care of it all at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Okay, I'm going to take a break. Easy as to tinkle. And, yeah. So sit tight. I'll be right with you in just a handful of minutes. Oh, we should have music. What the hell happened? That's embarrassing. Okay. Little conversation going on about fasting. Because Dale asked, Easy, how's the intermittent fasting going? I started it 2 weeks ago, down 4 pounds. Helps me eat less garbage food during the day. Yeah, the idea that you have a window of time, that's just less time to eat. Let's say you only have that amount of time to eat, and then if you just pack in good food or decent food, which I don't necessarily do. Sometimes I do, not every day, but ultimately I feel a lot better. I'm down 10, and in particular the moments in the day when I'm actually in the fast, I'm sharper. And I'm used to the idea of, a little bit hungry. It keeps me, I stay focused much better than what I used to. There are still points of the day when I'm sluggish. But when I haven't eaten, I'm not. I think I'm still doing it wrong though. Like I'm not 100% effective on actually eating good food. And I have to exercise more, which I just don't do it. I just haven't done it. Time is an issue for me. Sometimes I'll sit here in this chair and lift some weights, and that's about the extent of it. So I definitely need to improve my game overall in this. Kenny's the guy you want to talk to. Kenny and Jeremy, these are the guys who are all in, but I mean, like, their life's much more dependent on it. I mean, they're going to be dead, but if they don't turn this shit around, I mean, I'm not even fucking kidding you. They will die if they don't. I think right now, both of their life expectancies is like 51. Okay? These dudes are over 3 bills. Weigh-in day Monday. And I'm basing there was Kenny had a discussion about how he had a rough patch, so I'm not sure who's going to be we're doing a fat-a-thon between these two. They both weigh about 3 1/4. And so fat-a-thon weigh-in day is Monday. So let's see. Kenny wrote just shy of a 28-hour fast yesterday here. That was the new longest for me. Jeremy writes 18-hour fast yesterday. Probably could have gone longer. Might even go for a walk around the neighborhood today. Kenny says I'll probably have 2 meals between now and Monday. Ryan, who's on team, what is it you have again? Bulimia. Ryan is team bulimia. He writes, I work my ass off and eat as good as you should, and I can't seem to lose more than 30 pounds right now. The tragedy is my broken eating disorder brain is starting to think that's the only way. Chris says exercise. Do you pump iron, Ryan? I mean, are you lifting weights? I'm curious. I want to know if you do that. You might want to try. I'm telling you, you can download an app and literally with a chair, you can do all sorts of shit. Because you can do these, which works the back of your arms. These are dips. And then you can do like push-ups on the chair. And then you do like just knee bends. That's really good for you. Works your ass and your quads. Not to mention, you can do all this shit with non-weight bearing without even doing like any weights. You do that, and he says he does a lot of walking. Yeah, but I want you to pump iron. I want you to build some muscle mass. All right? Big weigh-in day Monday for these guys. Chris says Friday fitness class with EZ. Yeah, fuck all that cardio shit. Just like that guy who does those commercials on your phone. He says, yeah, you're doing, he's like on the treadmill running his ass off. And he goes, nope, that's not right. You gotta sign up. Nah, fuck that. Don't sign up. Just lift some weights. Ryan says, I've always said no one knows more about fitness than Big Fraud Zane. I wouldn't say that. But do it. Start lifting weights. All right. Where are we going now? I don't know about that. Maybe that. I want to talk a little bit about, we were talking about school shooting, threats made against the schools. As Rick indicated, Granville schools right around here, same thing. There's a threat. Chris pointed out that it seems like a lot of those threats are coming from areas far away. That might just be, I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but I don't know if this is necessarily local kids acting like idiots. For some reason, people just love to be idiots that might be far away and have no real dog in the fight here. And then same thing with the local school district, Comstock Township. And a lot of this comes from, obviously years and years and years of shootings. Now, the one that we had most recently, I think it was most recently. I don't know which one was most recent. If it was the Michigan State one or the Oxford High School. I think it was Oxford High School and then Michigan State. But in the Oxford High School one, that was Ethan Crumbly, where he's a fucking idiot, crazy kid. Mom and dad buy him a gun. They don't lock it up. He brings the gun to school, long story short, and shoots everybody. But the details of that were unbelievable because it was so avoidable. Mom and dad, obviously not the good gatekeepers that they should be for their kid. The kid goes to school, and he's drawing, like, pictures of people dying on his math homework. Teacher sees it. He goes to the office. No one knows it, but he's got the gun on him. It's in his backpack. He's going to shoot the school later on in the day. He goes, and mom and dad show up, and it's the counselor, Ethan, mom and dad. And mom and dad say, nah, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. And the school says, you should take him home. And they go, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Nope. And now mom and dad are aware that they bought the gun. And it doesn't occur to anybody to check it out right now to see if the gun's on him. If the gun is on him, he goes back to the class. The mom and dad leave. A handful of minutes later, he shoots everybody. Family members of the victims sued the school for not doing their diligence in determining if he was a threat or not. They felt that more should have been done by the school. Well, the low judge, the low circuit court judge, threw it out and said, no, you cannot do that. So they appealed, and they've lost again. The families of the Oxford shooting victims lose their appeal over school's liability for the tragedy. The Michigan Court of Appeals, that means the only step they have left is to go to the Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court, and then perhaps the federal Supreme Court. But the state Supreme Court and the federal Supreme Court would have to agree to take the case. And they only take so many. The Michigan Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the school district. in a 3-0 opinion. Lawyers for the families have not offered any evidence that shows that the Oxford staff were the proximate cause of the tragedy. That's what they had to prove. While staff had expressed concerns about Ethan Crumbley and a meeting was held with his parents on the day of the shooting, it was the teenager who, quote, made the definite and premeditated decision to take a gun to Oxford High School, the appeals court said. That court affirmed a lower court decision that said governmental immunity applied. Under Michigan law, immunity is a high hurdle to overcome in lawsuits against a public body or staff. Lawyers typically have to show that gross negligence occurred. So it's not unheard of, but you really got to prove that, gross negligence would be if Ethan pulled out the gun and said, hey, I got this in my backpack. And they said, well, you go back to school. You go back to class and keep that in your locker. It's ridiculous, I know, but a law firm representing the Oxford family said they'll next try the Michigan Supreme Court to take an appeal. And then a separate lawsuit is in federal court. Crumbley's serving life in prison. The mom and dad are serving 10 years each for involuntary manslaughter. I guess, it seemed like when this story was still going on that I remember being really, really aggressive, saying that the schools should be on the hook for this, or the schools should be on the hook for this, but I don't know. It's a tough spot to be in, to be sure. Parker Taft is here. Well, howdy, Eric. What up, big fella? Jeremy's high school is the one that shut down today. Kenny says literally the dumbest parents ever in the Crumbley shooting, for sure. Jeremy says only the dumbest until the one in Georgia where the feds were involved and they still got the kid a gun. Oh, my God, you're not kidding. That is even worse. The fact that a year ago the kid made a threat on the school. The feds show up. The dad says, no, not my kid. He's not crazy. Come on now. That's bullshit. And then the feds leave, and then the dad goes, hey, glad that's behind us. Now let's go buy you an AK-47. So he bought the kid a goddamn gun, and then the kid goes, thanks, Dad. And then he goes to school and shoots everybody up. There might have been a little bit of time passing and all that happening, but essentially that's what happened. My God. You fucking idiot. Glad those feds left us alone. You want to go buy a gun? Is what Kenny writes. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what happened. All right. On Patreon today, Kamala Harris is a gun owner. There is another gun story that we need. We're going all guns on the back half of today's podcast day. There was a shooting at the Lions game. People were tailgating, and people are questioning the Michigan self-defense laws, but I'm not. I agree with the guy who shot the guy. We'll get into that one too. I don't know how funny that's going to be, but you know me, sometimes funny things happen. Before we get to the asshole of the day, buy now and refinance later with the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. From anywhere in the U.S., get into your mortgage. 231-332-6505. King's Room Barbershop. The official haircut place of the Eric Zane Show podcast. 3 locations in West Michigan, Caledonia, Northland Drive. I was just there 2 nights ago. And Wyoming, 821 36th Street. Get a haircut fit for a king. Dudes get their haircut at King's Room Barbershop, and ladies who like short hair. Okay, haircuts are $19 plus tip. They are great. And if you cut hair for a living, think about King's Room Barbershop. They're hiring right now. Go to their website, kingsroom.net, for more information. The asshole of the day today. Who is it? Who can it be? I don't even know what the hell we talked about on this show. Chris writes, BK Guns and Stuff are so excited for the Patreon. I'm going to go with Chris's suggestion for Asshole of the Day. Kenny says, Asshole of the Day, whoever interviewed Rick. That's a good nomination. Asshole of the Day, free beer. I guess for the Facebook post, the tone deafness of his Facebook post, and just in general, he's an asshole. Fuck that guy. All right. Thank you so much, folks. As always, you're the best. I'll talk to you on Patreon. Until then, thank you so much.